Roll call, please.
Yep, Commissioner Kramer is absent with prior notice. Commissioner O'Rourke,
Present.
Commissioner Rexroth,
Present.
Chairman Wessel,
Here.
Commissioner Ross,
Here.
Commissioner Allgaier,
Here.
Commissioner Lautner.
Present.
Okay, and now we have public comment. Anybody is welcome to talk to us if it's related to the agenda of this special meeting. Yes, Eric.
Eric Limbs, Bay Township. I'm hearing rumors that a decision has already been made about replacing Commissioner Kramer, and I think that's a bit rushed. I don't think, first off, it's fair to appoint someone to the board who's on the ballot for this fall, and give them a head start on the other person in the field. But also, I question were illegal meetings held to come to this decision. Well, I'm interested to see how it goes. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other public comment on an agenda item on the agenda?
Yes,
Is that a yes?
yes. Comment on the agenda. Right?
Yes. It's on the agenda.
Captain Dawkins, Leelanau Township. My career was focused in law enforcement, which include being a patrol officer and an investigator, of which one of them was the AG's office, which I was very proud of being there, worked under Frank Kelly. When something was brought to me, a case, I needed specifics, not generalities. So if somebody would have said to me that they were passed over for committees, that they were neglected, that they were forced out, that they were made to leave, that they were in a sexist environment, that things went on behind closed doors that they were not part of, that they were thrown away, that decisions were made without them being part of it, I would have said to them, did you go up and tell somebody else about it? That would have been one of the things I would have said to them. I would say, if so, what was the reaction to that? I would have asked, when did this happen? What specifically happened? What committees were you not allowed on? What happened that made you feel neglected? What happened that made you feel that sexist remarks or behavior was occurring? I would have gotten both sides of the story. At least one commissioner here does not feel that way. And I'm sorry about that. As a woman who was on patrol in 1974, 75, under a federal grant, I experienced a lot of this behavior from fellow officers. So I know what it's like to work in an environment, and in my case, where my life was at risk, when I didn't have backup when I should have had backup, et cetera, et cetera. Things have changed a little bit, but I know it's still out there. I know it's still there. So if Jamie felt that she was going through all this, my questions to her would be, so I understand you spoke to one commissioner about it. Did you speak to anybody else? Did you speak to Ty? Did you talk to Richard? Did you talk to the human resources person about it? Jamie's not here. I can't ask her. I don't have her phone number. She never confided in me, so can I follow up on how she felt? No. I'm sorry, did I do something?
3 minutes are up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dawkins. Any other public comment on an agenda item? Any commissioner comment? Then we'll turn it over to Mr. Lewis, who will guide us through the
Okay.
agenda.
Okay, first of all, on your desk, you have an updated an update to Mrs. Kramer's resignation. She sent an email to us that she's wished to change her resignation letter of the date from dated 6/29, that her resignation would be effective immediately upon your motion. So we'll take that from there, and I will have the revised motion for you. So I think before we get to the other two, we need to accept if I understand it right, we need to accept the resignation. There's no other discussion, either accept it or not accept it, but you need to do that. I've changed the motion to say, I move the County Board of Commissioners accepts the resignation of District Number 1 Commissioner Jamie Kramer, letter dated June 29, 2024, an updated email of July 9, 2024, to be effective immediately. And furthermore, the Commission expresses its appreciation for the dedication and efforts of serving the residents of District 1 and in those of Leelanau County.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you.
I'm sorry,
That's okay.
Commissioner Rexroth had his hand up.
No, I was just gonna move or support. You guys got it done. So.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All of those in support of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Motion approved, 6-0.
Okay. Following, following the next item is on there, so you've got item 1 done. The next one is the process and discussion regarding potential appointment of a commissioner. First of all, the second bullet point in the EDS that's submitted to you, if you wish to appoint someone, as of now, you have 30 days to do so, and that began today. As far as I'm concerned, with the resignation immediately, that's when you have your 30 days. So the question is, how would you like to proceed? My recommendation to you is that if you want to do so, that we set a time period, that you have letters submitted by those who live within that district, submit their desire for your consideration. You can go through them, and then y'all can make a decision. That's my recommendation, unless you want to have another process. I don't know. I think with the newspapers and everybody else, I think there will be enough publicity out there to know that. I don't know if we need to run an ad, but if you like, we can do that. But at least pick out a time sometime within the next 30 days that we could have a special meeting to actually discuss the individuals. You can make a decision on how you would wish to proceed. I'm not going to tell you whether you ought to do X, Y, or Z, but I think you ought to take letters of interest to see who would like to serve. You had your...
No, I completely agree with you, and it's been brought up that, there's already been a commissioner appointed. Well, nobody told me about it yet. But let's advertise and get somebody in. And sure, we have 2 people on the ballot, and that's going to be,
Three.
but let's get 3. That's right,
You
Mr.
have 3 people
McCullough.
on the ballot, I think.
Yeah, nice.
Primary, and you have... the
Yeah, nice gentleman. Let's advertise for it, just like your suggestion. Let's set a time and go through it and pick it.
How long would you like to have that happen? Do you want to get...
I don't know that there's agreement on that
No.
idea yet.
Well, I'm just looking at dates, just out of curiosity, so. Okay. Go ahead.
So I have 2 thoughts. Thought number 1 is I don't think in this short a time, this close to the election, that we should just let the voters of that district decide who that will be. This board has functioned pretty well. We rarely have any 4-3 decisions split along party lines. There's a lot of 6-1s, 5-2s. I don't think we need to have that, and I don't want to preordain. I'd rather see the voters make that decision than this board. absent that, my fallback position would be, I don't think that we should allow any of the current candidates for that district as applicants, because I think we're putting our thumb on the scales of election. But my first thought would be, this is only a few months out. Let's let the voters of that district decide and function. Let's all get together like adults and finish our job here till the voters decide.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, so moved.
So that's a do nothing, you're saying? I mean,
That's a do nothing. I mean, yeah, I guess go to my first thing, I move that we let the voters decide that we do not make a appointment to that position.
You're saying don't fill it.
I'm saying don't fill it, let the voters do that. It's only a few months away from that election.
Year and a half, and I gotta disagree with you.
Yep, that's okay.
I'll support the motion.
Before we open up the discussion, Michelle, does this change the necessity for having an election?
Well-
The change in the date of her resignation?
There's not,
No.
first of all, there's not enough time to make a motion. No motion and taking no action is in fact action that you're not going to do anything.
Correct.
You have 30 days to make an appointment, regardless of how the election turns out. The MCL is very clear. Once that 30 days elapses, which starts today or tomorrow, whichever day, it doesn't matter. We'll say today. We'll say right now at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. After that 30-day time frame elapses, you do not have the availability or the option to appoint. I just want to make sure that you clearly understand that you can't just wait to see who wins in November and appoint that person. You would just go until January 1st at noon, and then we'll have our new board up here.
Yeah, just to make it clear, that was
Yep.
my intent, and so that I fully understand, we do not have to appoint someone.
You do
And if
not.
we fail to do so within 30 days, we cannot appoint someone. And so that's my understanding clearly, so my thought was we just don't do anything.
I just need some clarity on your motion, because I have motion by Rex Rope that the Leelanau County Board of Commissioners let the voters decide and not make an appointment.
Correct.
Is that the motion?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
And that was
basically, I guess, I don't even, if you need the voters decide is more side chatter than actually, the actual motion is just we choose not to make an appointment.
I just know last time this happened, I had far more time to do it.
Yeah.
And with an election, I just held it, the resignation was at the end of December of 15. I held the appointment in August because the 30 days elapsed. The August election was to specifically fill it to meet that criteria, but I don't, based on what Attorney Nordberg has given me, I don't appear to have that time frame to do that.
So, could be no special election anyway.
And if I found out I had to, it would go on the November ballot, and it would be someone that followed the criteria.
And it would be the same thing.
Yeah, it might be
But
long.
the attorney's opinion is the same thing. You do not, if you don't do anything in 30 days, you don't do anything.
Yeah.
That's fine. If you
I'm
don't,
not comfortable making a hard and fast right now. And we've got, if we don't do anything in 30 days, then we've made our decision.
yeah, if you don't give me direction, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Period.
So, but we,
And you won't meet again, well, you'll meet next Tuesday night, but you won't meet again as a body
Right.
until,
yeah, so if you don't do it by
and you're
Tuesday,
past,
you ain't doing
you're
it
past the
anyway.
30
You know,
days.
Just call a special meeting.
The advantage I can see from making a hard and fast decision is you eliminate rumors and lots of people submitting letters and it brings closure to it, and we start doing our business as a team of 6. That's the other side of just leaving it open. Leaving it open means that for a month, people are going to be wondering, are we really leaving it open?
Well, there could be some very qualified people in District 1 that is not on the ballot that would love to come in here and set an experienced government for a few months.
I kind of agree with you, but if they haven't been in the room, maybe they've been watching on YouTube, and we don't know about them, but, I don't know who those individuals are. that
We
are
don't
that-
know who they are, but I'm sure somebody cares.
Oh, I'm sure, I hope somebody cares. I hope somebody cares, but I'm just not ready to make a decision.
So just to, everyone's avoiding the elephant in the room. This board as it sits is 3-3. The likelihood
That's what I'm looking at.
that we're gonna come together on appointing someone is pretty low. We're giving away control of the board. As nice as we've all played together, it's going to be hard for any one of us. So to avoid us arguing about this for a month and not getting anywhere and leaving people out in the cold, and, we've been, despite all the stuff we've been a pretty functional board as far as trying to be respectful to each other. And I think this is just an opportunity to have us be mad at each other and not get anything done anyway. So I'm just reiterating my support of this. Let's just try and function as a 6-person board and move forward, remove the doubt, and get it done.
You're suggesting that there'll be a lot of residents very pleased that we don't have to make any decisions that might negatively impact them.
Yeah, I think we don't have trouble answering our constituents with any decision we made that way right now. So.
Can I, and this is, probably should know the answer to this, but if let's say an issue does come up and we're tied at 3-3, what happens in that?
Well, if you're having to deal with a vote, if it's a tie vote, however the motion was,
It fails.
It's a fail.
it's a fail.
It's just a
Sorry,
fail.
correct.
Yep.
Now, how about you, I've been through this one time before. At the city, we went months, without a 7th member.
Really?
The only thing they could not agree on was board appointments. Every other business item on the agenda, and there was lots of them, got done. You will take care of the business. And if not, that's my job to figure out, if you're gonna fight over it, I'll just wait.
We lost a millage in Elmwood once, a millage, a vote of the people. Once, it was a
Well,
tie.
I mean, so as your administrator, I'm not worried about having a 6-member board at all, not at all. So.
Commissioner Bear?
I just want to make one statement for the voters in Elmwood who voted for a Democratic commissioner with purpose. I will just say they spoke, and we are choosing not to honor their preference with this. I may be comfortable with this, I need to think about it, but we are not honoring the preference they indicated at the polls. Because they
Commissioner
spoke.
Lautner, was your hand up, or are you?
Well, they chose Jamie.
It chose a person.
Yeah, so we're honoring that.
But she was
We're
hard.
not honoring.
So
just
I
I
guess
just
I'm
wanna-
not I'm just not
There's
tracking
For
what,
them. I want to speak for them.
okay, but what is, I'm not tracking. You mean
Any-
another female Democrat?
We have a motion on the table. Any other discussion on the motion?
Call the vote.
Did we have a second?
Commissioner Lautner seconded.
Okay.
Have we answered everybody's question?
Well,
You
I
got-
guess I would like
You gotta
to,
stop discussion.
to say that also, that obviously that is the elephant in the room, and we did have a clear majority with Commissioner Kramer, and we have now lost that, and that has to be acknowledged. I mean, that's huge, So I'm just saying, it's missed. I will miss
You have a
her.
call to the question, all discussion, I think is supposed to stop.
Okay, you're right,
Correct?
sorry.
We didn't
The
have a
motion was
second
made,
to
the
that.
call-
Doesn't the call?
You didn't have a second.
Okay, we didn't?
I don't know if I can do that
Oh,
with the
right,
original
second
motion,
now.
but I guess it's a different one. So I
Okay.
support the call.
So O'Rourke called the question, and now Rex wrote, you seconded it, so the
Yeah.
discussion stops, and we go to the vote for the call to question, please. Sorry.
No, I'm just trying to make sure.
All
Robert's
those in
rules
support of
don't go
calling
away.
the question, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved 5-1.
No,
No.
for calling?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll vote to call.
Motion approved 6-0.
Okay, so now call the question.
Now we'll vote on the motion. Would you read the motion?
Sure. Motion by Rex wrote that the Leelanau County Board of Commissioners let the voters decide and not make an appointment.
All those in support of the motion, let's do a roll call on this.
Sure. Commissioner Rex wrote,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Chairman Wessel,
Yes.
Commissioner Alguier,
No.
Commissioner Lautner,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Rourke,
No.
what'd you say?
No.
4-2.
4-2.
Motion passes.
Motion approved 4-2. The third item on the agenda is the appointment of replacing Jamie on her board assignments. And as chair, I have to recommend, and I will do that if we can move this to next Tuesday night's meeting, give everybody an opportunity to let me know if they'd like to serve on one of those, and I will make a recommendation, and the board will either affirm that recommendation or overrule it. And I think the committee assignments we're talking about are Beta and
There's 4. There's Beta, Northwest Michigan Community Action Agency.
No, she already gave that one up.
Huh?
She gave it up already.
She
She
did?
gave that up a while ago.
Okay, well then, somewhere it missed in our records, we apologize. Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition and the Senior Services Advisory Committee. So there's 3.
I think you ought to appoint them right now. I mean, Gwen was at the, in Grand Rapids with you then, and she has been a prior Beta person, so,
As was I, but I'm interested in betas too, as well.
okay, well
I
then.
served on beta in the past, was chairman.
it would be my preference that people that are interested would let me know by the end of the week.
Okay.
And we add this to the agenda next Tuesday,
Okay.
and we'll do it.
Agreed.
I'm on substance abuse. I think Jamie made 1 meeting.
All right. I think
Everybody in agreement, we can move this to next week, Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay, good. That concludes our special agenda. We now have public comment. Hi, Bill.
Bill Wiesner, Elmwood Township. I appreciate you leaving the vote out to people for what we just discussed. But on the election fraud, again, back to what the guy said this morning, you haven't discussed the computers yet and the security, and it was brought up again that Grand Traverse County was just talking about that. And with AI coming in and getting smarter and smarter, who knows what they can do and make, but there's a simple solution, and that's the one person, one ballot, one vote, one day idea. This handout is really a good one. It would be online, and part 5 is about the tabulation. Part 5 is a covert attack. It's on page 3. And it lists a lot of the problems with the machines and the elections as they are. They start on page 6, 5, 3, 2, the examples. He says, listing just a few examples. He said he could give thousands, but there's 43 of them. So I'm not going to take the time to go into those, but there's lots of problems with the machines. You read through that, it's like, why are we doing this? And so I'm just sneaking ahead past all the problems to on pages 14 and 15. Number 8, their information diversion and lawfare strategy, that's used right now too. We've got to get rid of all that stuff. And we can only do it if we have a valid election. Conclusions, there's 2 types of manipulation. There's isolated kind of individuals throughout that know how to do it, but then there's a communal strategy, strategic manipulation, and he explains, small, talented group for years, development. And that's just 2 paragraphs, read that. But how do we fix it? That's on page 15, and there's 5 steps. Make it simple enough for every citizen to understand from registration through reporting. Make it transparent enough for every citizen to see every part of the election. Make it verifiable enough for every citizen to ensure complete accuracy of every result.
make it accessible to all citizens that choose to vote, and local control by citizens at the precinct and coordinated by their elected officials. The solution is simple. After exposing the players in the game and their network and dismantling their numerous systems of control, we start with the simple process that worked for over 200 years. Then we improve on the technology. So he goes into the steps. And there's a bunch of them there. In-person voter registration at the county level, county-controlled voter registration with other counties so they can make sure there's no duplicates. Precinct-based voting, not the stuff that's going on in Detroit, I'm sure. Voter ID, count where cast, set up inexpensive cameras, $100 each. But make sure the person voting, that's not on camera, obviously. Scan ballots, let's see, anti-counterfeit paper. Citizens tabulate the ballots under additional inexpensive cameras. They're counting the ballots under cameras, determining voter intent themselves, not this adjudication thing that, guess who? Eric Coomer has a patent on the adjudication process. Use paper cast ballot record tally sheets. So you've got the sheets, you've got all their work, you've got bipartisan Republicans, Democrats on either side of the table, and if they don't match, then they recount them. All citizens are part of the process. They post the results outside the precincts, and then you give them to the outside world. So just consider this, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Any other public comment? Thank you for attending today's meeting. Any commissioner comment?
I just want to echo the earlier statements on the motion and thank Commissioner Kramer for her time and commitment to Leelanau County. One thing I've learned doing this job, it is not an easy job. It takes a lot of time. And I've also learned respect for all of you, all of us, no matter where you stand. We disagree philosophically many times, but everyone here is trying to do what they think is the right thing and spending a lot of time doing it. So Commissioner Kramer will be missed, and again, appreciate her service to this county.
Agreed.
I'd like to say too that we will miss her voice. I totally enjoyed having her here.
Yep.
And I'm sorry for her struggles in
Yep.
her personal life. And I also want to say too, I really appreciate the fact I describe this commission as pretty much of a joy because we all talk. And we're reasonable, and I sure appreciate that, so I want to thank all of you. And we'll miss Jamie.
Yep.
We can leave her chair right here if she can be here in spirit.
Absolutely.
Any other comment?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I want to explain something.